Hey, Klubnik, 282 completions on 443 attempts this season. That's a 63.7% completion percentage. He's a little over 3,300 yards, 33 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions. And he's also got 106 rushes for 458 yards, which is 4.3 yards per carry. He's got 7 touchdowns on the ground. Folks, his gross, before you take out all the sack yardage against him, which most of the time is not the quarterback's fault, his gross is 604 yards on the ground. He's got a long of 55. So Cade Klubnik is a guy that can get loose on you. He can really put a lot of pressure on the defense with his legs. And those are dangerous guys. And it doesn't have to be just extremely, you don't have to be like an extremely athletic dude. We watched Georgia do it last week with their backup quarterback, Stockton. He's not a just uber athletic guy, but he put pressure on the Texas defense with his legs. 6'1", 230-pound senior running back Phil Maffa leads the Tigers on the ground. He has 214 carries for 1,106 yards, 5.2 yards per carry. He's got 8 touchdowns. He's got a long of 83. I don't care. You're not going 83 yards for a touchdown unless you got some speed. You got some athleticism. And to be that big and be able to go 83 yards, you don't want to let that guy get past the front line very much, or your secondary is going to get beat up and thumped up trying to tackle that big dude. 6'1", 230 pounds is a large man coming at you really fast. 5'11", 190-pound sophomore wide receiver Antonio Williams leads Clemson in receptions, yards, and touchdowns. He's got 71 catches, 838 yards, 10 touchdowns. He's got a long of 57. He also has 7 carries for 101 yards and a touchdown. So he's one of those kind of he's like your little wide receiver reverse guy. Yeah, I really like 6'2", 180-pound freshman Bryant Wesco. He's out of Texas. And I believe Texas and Clemson were kind of in a battle for him down the stretch last year. I think he might be their most explosive wide receiver. He leads the team in yards per catch. He's 38 catches, 678 yards, and 5 touchdowns. He's almost averaging 18 yards per catch. And he's got a long of 76. So he's a guy, he's long, fast, athletic, good hands, dangerous player. Then you got 6'6", 244-pound tight end Jake Brenningstool. He's a weapon in the passing game. 45 catches, 461 yards, 7 touchdowns. He's got a long of 41. So you look at this offense, there's a lot of explosiveness everywhere on this offense. Offensive line's a veteran group. They got 3 juniors, 2 seniors. They're not as big as we've seen in the SEC or that you will see in the SEC, but they're not small. They average 6'5", 311 pounds. They move pretty well, I think. Obviously pretty good to put up the numbers that they put up. But they're not like these I mean, we've been seeing some big offensive lines. We've been seeing some offensive lines that average close to 330 pounds the last few weeks in SEC play.